Welcome back. Let's go back. I hope, let me know, maybe a few more minutes to everybody join in. This gives me a thumbs up. Yeah, there. Julius, Diana, lovely. Sadaf, lovely. Paula will be there, I know. Elena, Mazidul, brilliant. Brilliant. I think we have everybody. Elena! You know, in Indian movie, that's how people shout. Ask Julius. We used to do this most of the movie. I need to find it called long
Bollywood movies.
Bollywood movie. Oh dear God, this is quite fun. It's a long shout. Okay, let's go ahead. Start the remaining one. Okay, let's do this. So we are here now. This is the current state that if I load it from the beginning, we have managed to do certain good thing together. So let it load. Then I select book list. And then obviously I need to do this part. It will generate anything, but as you can see from the inspect, when I give Ajax the name of the table, on change of this event is collecting the table name from the database and producing this for us. So to show it is just so you can see if I select the book list table, I can see all the columns here. These are the total columns, 9 of them. If I choose another table, user table, we had a little glitch in there because we have 2 user tables, one in the schema as well. So now you can see these are perfect. The username, first name, last name, email, date of registration, which is good. If no data was, then I will receive something called no record. So yeah, we can show that by making a mistakes on the table name, for example. KKK. I don't have a table name called KKK. So I want to see this. So here I select any of the tables and it says no record here. So that's the end goal of it. Yeah, we select no record. Now based on this, we could do things. So let's go back here. When you actually get the column names in the processor, you get an array that gives you, fix it before I forget. So when it gives me your array, this array need to be further processed. So let's do that. So this is a 2-dimensional array. So let's run 2 for each loop for each. We just need the column name. That's all we need. So we need to sort out here. We can just sort out here, pass the only data to this. So as you can see, it's a 2-dimensional array. If I do this again, then you can see it here. Select one, refresh it. Select one. As you can see, this is a 2-dimensional array, an array that contains each row as an array. So I need a 2-dimension. I need to run it twice, 2 array. There is another technique you can apply, but it's the safest to use. So then I'm going to go to this for each loop. For each results as key value. Just going to split them into as key, then value. That's one. That's one for each. Run another for each. because 2 dimension, we're in the second one now. Grab the value as again key value. Don't worry, this value will have different values in there, even though you see 2 values there, but it's called closures. So this value means something out of this value. So this is different than this value. This value in here is response this, because it's within each other. So they will have separate values. The variable will not have conflicting. That's a good news. So we have that. Now that I have this, I'm left with sending it, pushing into this array. So let's do this little push. In fact, do I need to do that? I can, okay, let's do it this way, no problem. Push, because I'm not interested in the column name. I'm just only the value. So that's why I have decided to do this bit. Here, I'm just going to print column name, column array. That's why we are pushing, and we are only pushing the value, not the key name. Once we've done that, come out of both of them, echo it. Not echo it, let's print, let's print R. Print R. Is look where I'm just still in this for each loop. Print this guy. See how much I trimmed it now after this. So let's do this. I'm still in this if I haven't done anything else. I've run this, prepared this, and I'm done with it outside the loop, just sending it. So at the moment you see 2 arrays, and you see this kind of repeating column name. I got rid of that key. I will be living with only book name. These are the names within array, hopefully. Things goes right. So let's go ahead and select a table. Perfect. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
This is what we want. We want one single dimension. When I get rid of the keys, we'll have index keys, and we'll have this. If you select users, here you go, you got another one, which gives you different tables. So that makes dynamic. You choose any table, it will give you this. Now with this, I have responsibilities. I'll have to produce the drop down for my column name. So this will be the column name. But this is a PHP array. This is not going to work. This is printing because of the print R function. So we need to convert this to JavaScript sort of things. I need to convert it to JavaScript. So to do this, you do one simple fun function called, let's remove this guy. To convert a PHP array to JavaScript array object. Array object depends on how you want to. Let's do this. We're going to call it echo. We're going to call a built-in function called JSON encode. It takes 2 variables. One, what are you encoding, the array itself, and a Boolean that will help you to convert it. So if you say this, however, it says JSON encode returns the JSON representation of value, and JSON is very good for JavaScript because it's a combination of an array and objects. We can use it, and with a string true false, you can write it's the last one. Also encode decode scalar. Okay, all type of strings value. Let me see what is it actually. Optional depth false. A JSON encode a string on success or false on failure. So basically, if you put true, I want a JSON. That's why you have to put true. So I put 2. That's 2 parameter it takes. Let's see how it look like when I console log it. Here my console log is doing the job. So let's do this. Refresh it. Don't worry. Let me just go through the story. Then I will give you the code. It will be better so you can concentrate. Bookstore. Can you see?
Yes.
Now this is a conversion of JSON using that function. So this is close. This is good. That's an array with only the names that we wanted, the value. We got rid of this things. This is good. But this is actually, don't get fooled. This is actually a string. If you say type of, you'll see this is a string decorated such a way they look like an array, but it is still a string. So it's a complex string. To manipulating will be harder. What I need to do now, because when it came to JavaScript, is actually a type of a string, look like an array, just like our local storage system. We need one more step. When you do JSON encode, it returns as a string, but in a JSON format. When it comes to JavaScript, you need to do one more JSON function. Let's do this. Let's update this response equals to, I'm updating it using JSON parse function. That's going to take this screen and convert it a true JavaScript array. Have a look. I'm updating it. So this will be updated after this. So this, I'm going to console log after. So you can see the difference between both of them. I can even write one for you to see it's a type of. Because the type of, another one is type of here. So you can see after and before. This is before, this is after parse. Let's do this. Let's post book list. You can see this is a string, as it says, type string. This is, on the other hand, turn out to be an object, even though you can see this is an array. In JavaScript, an array is also an object. Welcome to JavaScript. So you can expand it to see how it is. Now it's added this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatsoever. So to have this from here to a JavaScript array, we have used JSON parse. This is a JQuery. Sorry, just a JavaScript function that will convert this to a pure array with a numeric index adding to it. Of course, now it's an array, so I need to loop it through using JavaScript. This extra bit I have to do. So let's go ahead and do that part, and each of them will be adding it to options of this. That's what we want to do. Want to finish that. So, but before I do any of these things, I want to make sure that that little bit of extra precaution has been taken. The precaution is this. At one point, you'll see that when I type things here, like for example, let's leave it there. As you can see, this guy is going on. He's still waiting. I click this. I'll populate this. Let's populate this. Then you'll see why I'm planning to do certain important things here. So let's do this first. Then I'll show you why I need to do a little bit of precaution. But I can't show it without doing it. So now that I have the data, this is done. Lock it up. This is done. I'm not going to put too many. Console log could confuse. So switch them up. I've just trusted. Now that I have that for this guy as an array, I need to run a for each loop to it. A little bit of for each loop could help. So then we can split and create this additional options value, which was missing from here. So this one we produce using our index and PHP. This one will be JavaScript. So you learn both. Let's do this. We're going to run a very popular JQuery each. This is a for each loop, basically. Function. That function takes an array, which is response in our case. And it also takes a callback function, which contains index and value. You can just like a key value, things that you did in PHP here, key value, that's what the function will do for us. Index value in this case. So that is done automatically by this function. Very lovely way. All you have to do, it takes a function callback with two parameters in it, index, value. You can call them anything you like, practically. That's, sorry, my mistake. Index value. And then I will have this guy. That is it. So end of each. End of each loop. Okay, just one level, so I don't need another each. Now I'm ready to populate my the value that I want to produce. Let's do this. Append. So I need this column ID. And that column ID is here, which is, I believe, is called select column. That's the idea of it. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go there. Of course, I need to put it there. I need a little bit of this guy's help. It's an ID. And put them into a selector, making a selector. Put a $sign before it to make it jQuery selector. And column, that's what we want. We want to add options to it. Want to make sure that we use some sorts of, append some options to it. So I'm going to use append function. We're not going to replace with HTML. We're going to say append. Whatever it has with this, please carefully append this. So let's do this. Append function. And we're going to say in JavaScript, but I like one of the things that is a new. You can use this. So I can type naturally. Option. Each option will have a value. That would be our JavaScript value section. Put it like this. Value. So that goes our value. We finish this. We close option. But in between, we want to display this to the client. Sorry, I have to do value equals to this, and then these would be things that I want to display in that would be the value again. So I can just copy this guy. This way you can put a variable. If you put backtick inside a single quote, double quote, you don't have to worry too much. Or like a switching between single quote, double quote, and all these things. If this goes all well, we should be able to see that it produces something. It produces something. Okay, let's do this. Hopefully I can achieve that. I have done for each loop. Yeah, let's have a look. I haven't used the index, so leave it there. That's perfect. These are the thing I can choose now, which column I want. Perfect. It's giving me all the. Let's change to another table. Maybe it needs refreshing. Okay, a little bit refreshing. Okay, that is, I will come back later on. Just do a fresh one. User on select username. It should fire actually. It's adding to it, appending. I'm appending, that's why. If I do HTML, it won't append it. It's going to keep it. Let's do with the HTML. But if I do with the HTML, I need to do a little bit extra. Because you see, if I'm appending, it's going to keep the old data. So I'm going to do it HTML. But I will keep it HTML. What I have planned, my problem is, if I change data, it's appending with the previous one. I don't want that. But also, I don't want to lose this. If I do HTML, it's going to replace it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply a technique that we use to do. So I'm going to shift this, the first selector, to JavaScript. I'm going to take it away, make it completely empty. Just above the loop, I'm going to edit. But before, I need to grab this guy, put it here. There will be outside loop. So it will be, so there's going to be HTML.html. You put this, you put a tick, and you go ahead, finish with the tick. Tick, and you finish. So the first one will be always added to it priorly. I removed it from there, made it a selected column, and then the rest of them will be appending. Let's have a look if this helps. If this doesn't help, then we'll have to do another trigger. Book list. That's okay. But how about this guy? Ooh, nice, right?
Done.
Solve the problem. So this is done. So we are here now. We have successfully, but of course, this is, if I go back to my state chart, let's see where we are. On select, we are here. On C1, this is the component one, which is the table dropdown. Nothing changed in this one. This get enabled. As you can see, the column name enabled, and we have successfully populated this. The keyword is still disabled, and I want to add these things into this box, so you know something is happening. So what I want is the last bit is a little bit left. I select this. As soon as I select it, rather than this guy, he's going to say, please select the column. It'll guide me. And that's fairly simple to do. You just have to make sure that you get the file data, which is, I should have somewhere here. Grab it. Grab it from there. Come here, just underneath of each. What do I want to do? I want to write this. Append, no append. I can do HTML, I can do append. This doesn't matter, whatever you like to call it. You know, and why not HTML? Because I don't have anything there. So let's do HTML for now. I will change it, and I'm just to show it nicely. I will try to do a little bit of CSS styling. So I'm gonna put a H5, H5, and then I'm gonna add a little class. Here I'm gonna do, oh sorry, I will add this bit tick, backtick finishes. Oh sorry. Class would be, I have a class called info that I can use, quite decorated class, and a bootstrap class called text center. This combine do the job. Then of course I close it. I said, please select a column name. Column name, that will be my final output for this stage, step 2. Let's have a look. Book list, activated, select. Obviously, you can select anything. You can see all of them is populated. Please select a column name. Of course, when you do, then obviously this will be activated. So we're guiding through. At the moment, I could have printed all the data here, but that is, as I said, I want to keep it for now very simple because we are already consuming a lot of code. We have state chart needed. You can see it's not easy. Sometimes you have to follow the state chart. So up to here is done. Now, 2 more things left. Was one, when you select a column on change of C2 component 2, this will remain same, this will remain same. This get enabled, this get focused. So let's do this quickly. And then of course, a new instruction will be printed on the please type keyword. So this is a different drop down. So I need to write a select a statement, sorry, another change on change event for particularly that one. So let's go ahead without delay. We do this quickly. Introduce some homework as well from there. So let's gonna quickly go there. This is done in my first drop down. Table drop down is done. Now let's go ahead and grab this and create another. First, this is done. First Ajax. This is change event finish. Let's go ahead and fire another function. I will call column drop down change event handler function. This case, of course, I just can copy this guy or just write it again so you can see those who missed it. So I'm just going to do this in this case, do a little bit of this, and of course a little bit double quotation mark maybe, and then select column, select, and I need a little bit of hash. I'm going to copy this one. That's another drop down. Dot on change even. Change even what we want, it will be given it to a function. callback function. It will take an event. I want to prevent event default. Function should be finished here. Then I'm gonna quickly, before I forget, I'm gonna do this. So this function nicely written here. Let's go ahead. I don't need any JavaScript for any Ajax for it. It's just a few changes. Event dot prevent function. So any prevent any other things doesn't fire default events. The first thing I of course want get the column name. So the column that I populated, in the choose one, that means they have changed the value. So I can do the same techniques that I used here to collect the data. Like this. This time, the variable not going to be table name. It will be column name. We're going to use this variable. So let's do that quickly. It will be column name. These are global variable. Column name will have this. You can also write either this or this. So that's being had. Of course, I want to do a little check, which always you should do is if this column name, whatever it is, column name is not empty for some reason. It shouldn't be empty because it's a drop-down menu. There's no chance it will be empty, but it's still not equal to empty. Sorry, my apologies. Empty. You can check it so many different ways. Then I go ahead and do a few things. I want to, of course, I always fire a file data remove class. And of course, I'm going to write a few things. I'm just going to quickly copy these things. It's the repeating things. So I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping thing. If I have error comes, this error is not going to come now. It will come when I type wrong table data, search wrong data. It will say no data found. So every time it happens, I want to just change it. It's not happening now. It will happen after a few type. Please type keyword. So that's been done, which is okay. We also want to make sure that we activate the keyword field, and we're going to do that. We're going to do that with keywords. I'm just going to do that. Grab this guy, the keyword guy here. Dot prop function, and you know what prop function is a property function. Now I'll say disabled false. That's one thing. And of course, Julius has reminded me to do the chain. I usually forget. I have to bring back is opacity. I can do a chaining effect here, then say opacity. And I want to bring back full opacity, which is technically 1. So that's one thing I've done. What else I want to do? If there is a value already typed from the previous attempt, now this will be activated, this guy. If there is if it's a second run, a customer searching, sometimes second time, if any value is there, as soon as you change something, I want that to clean it, to have a new input. So that to happen, I would do a little bit of extra things to it. I'll do 2 things to it. One, every time you change it, I'm going to bring it, the val function, to empty its value, if there's any. But I can't change focus function is separate, it's a vanilla. But it works with JavaScript query, JQuery as well. If I'll try to chain it. If I can chain it, I can chain all of them together. Actually, let's try to chain them all, see if I can get them. Because they're all happening on this guy. And also see if, I'm not sure focus will work. Let's try. That's a bit naughty function. I can chain them all. And in fact, I can, if it is too long, I can even knock it down like this. I can knock it down like this. If you have too many chaining going horizontally, you can do that. Let's see if this all happening while we do this. Okay. Refresh it. Select it. Book list. Oh, wait. This website, it wasn't even loaded when I called it. Book list. Please select a column. Hopefully it works. As you can see, yeah, focus did work. So fantastic. And please type a keyword. Now the only things left for this, let me double check with my state chart. On change, this move, nothing. This has nothing. The keyword get enabled, it get focused. We see this, we need to see this. Please type keyword and you can see that. So it was very less code that we had to do. So let me give you this. This scripts file, I'm gonna just check. It's quite a lot of scripts. Do you mind if I give you this scripts?
Yes.
Just a little bit of a scripts file. I'm just gonna put a little bit of dot because I have put something before. So I'm just gonna put a line first. And if it's gets too complicated, it's not complicated. It's just a little bit of, if you understand the architecture, it's not actually. State chart make is really simple to follow through. So that is scripts. I also have made a little changes in my process here. I added something new. So of course I need to give you that process. Just try them because while you're learning, if you have to do also typing, sometimes it's difficult. So watch this, as it, by now you had a clear idea the overall technique that I'm applying. So you can now just put them there and follow the story with me, so we can continue developing it. As process, that's fine. That's scripts. So this on select event will do that job. Last job that I have is the most another one, which I can repeat because I already have that function that I've created earlier from my earlier JavaScript. When you start typing now, this will not change anything. This will not change anything. Obviously, you're typing something. There will be 3 states of it. It will display the recording video was found. Now I'll have another Ajax to do that. If that match was not found, I want to see this message for this component. If you're not typing anything or you backspace, removing the previous value, it go back to this. Now, I already have done that in my previous single one where so I'm just going to take some help from this. But let's see how much I can type. So I'm going to, of course, write that function, key event function here. I'm just gonna write this here. I'm gonna say search field key of event handler. Search key of event handler would be here, and there will be end of it. So let's do this first. So I'm gonna grab this keyword guy.
Key up is when you leave the key, right? Key up is when you leave.
That's correct. That's correct. Key press is when you type. So when you type first character, as you press it, as long as you hold it pressed, it's actually key press happening. As soon as you release it,
that's the time it runs.
That's the time it runs. So you made a decision to search on something. You can also add it to key press, but key up will give you a nice feeling than key press. Key press will wait until you release.
So
the key press.
Looks like I'm
Need to go.
I do mistake with my data model. What I need to all write in the process file, I write it in data model. That's why it's not working.
I don't blame you, darling. I don't blame you. So let me give you the data model file.
I need it.
That's absolutely fine. It's quite hard to follow through, and that's why I said now on just follow through is, but rather watch it. So because it's harder, it's not easy to follow all this thing on over the internet or anything. So just put it there and just watch this, because we are repeating actually, no? We're actually repeating the same process, just a slightly different variation. So we're gonna do key event now for this particular function. So I'm just going to grab it. And this event happened here when you type the key. So let's grab this guy on another call key up. You want key press, go ahead and try later on with the key press. You'll see different things. Function, so this is what it is, what we want. Of course, I want an event to disable. And the first thing I do is this event, clean it, dot prevent. This invisible enemy could be spending 2 hours you're wondering what gone wrong with this. So that's one thing I've done. Of course, I'm going to collect the value of the keyword they're typing. So to do this, I'm going to borrow this guy, one of this guy. I always keep writing this. So let's go ahead. Keyword. You can do this keyword here. Keyword. Of course, I don't have a global variable called keyword. So I can just let, no problem, or bar. I don't want bar. I want it to let remaining within this. But if you plan to use it for further, go ahead and you can use that bar, or add it to the list here on the top. But I don't think so. I'll be using it. I'm going to keep it local. So grab it. I grab that guy. And then I wanted to make sure that I run a little Ajax that does this. But before I do the Ajax, you'll notice something very interesting happen. I'll tell you why I'm doing it. If I will only run Ajax if keyword is not empty. This is a check I want to do prior to my Ajax. That is for backspace, not equal to not equal to empty. If this all new Ajax will run between this, as long as this is not empty. That means if there is a character, then go ahead and fire the search and grab this data with that key. But if this is empty, for example, if you put it, removed it with backspace, that field is empty, is it not? If that field is empty, then it will not have anything and Ajax should not run. So I'll just wrap it around with this one. That will save some of my works, and also loader function. I can stop it. I also want to say, okay, only run Ajax when you don't run Ajax else, because Ajax will be big. So I want to write it first. I said, if it's not, I want to do a file data value and remove classes. If there is nothing on the board, let's say, what I mean by this, when you type something here, it should produce, let's say typing, it should produce matching record. If the matching not confirmed, you're going to put a red color saying no class. So there will be a class working red color. And if I remove it like this is empty. As soon as it triggers, if there is empty, if there is no value, it will do the following. It will remove the class if it was from the previous cycle. And also I'm going to do a little bit of bring it back original state. The thing that I want to bring it back is the original state, which is the last bit of our state chart. This is okay, which is we already have written in the initial stage in the HTML. So this is what I want. But within this, if you want, I can give you the copy, or you can follow through. I don't know the way you like it. Just it's too big, Ajax. So wait for me rather, right? Let me finish the Ajax. What do you think? Then you can edit if you want to try it. So the Ajax, let's do the, how many Ajax now? I have, let me double check. I have written things here, so I know which one. This is Ajax 1. Ajax 1 finish. I don't have any Ajax here, so that's fine. This should be Ajax 2 here. So let's go ahead and fire an Ajax. Ajax. That will be an Ajax that I want to fire, and of course it will take a little bit of these kind of things, and I want to write something to this. I mean to say, making sure that I write Ajax 2 fetch table data on key up. Okay. That's the call. And of course, this is end of this. Within that, I have a number of things to do. First, of course, the URL. Same guys, process .php, comma, type, host, comma, action. Data, I need some action. I'm going to add one more guy called actions here. Here, I'm going to call this action get rows or something, because it will collect some rows. You can call it anything you like. I'm just going to call this a get rows. Last time it was get columns. Let me see last time what it was. Get columns. Now this is going to be get rows. That's one thing, but I need to also send a few things with it. This guy needs few things. A table name, and column name. Because when it's searching, I just can't send only the keyword. I also have to send which table I'm operating on. Because this table name, look at this carefully. While I'm searching at some point, I could change these things, right? Any moment later. So customer could make a change. Oh, I searched this table, let's change another one. So I need these two tables. Search, select all from this table, or select the column name from this table where the column name like this. So I need these two guys. And I knew that I need them. So I declared two global variables, one called table name, one called column name already. My data should be ready by this operation. Because to come to A to B, we have came to a stage where I have declared two global variables. They are holding the data, one for table, one for column name. Table name, column name. So I can use it now. So that's what I'm going to send with this whole thing. So I'm going to call one thing called table name. And of course I know I have a global variable which I declared on the top and which is now filled with. So I have already captured this table name here, so I can put it there. Go back here, table name, and I need a column name. So let's keep adding them. Column name. I can add column name. What else I need? I need a keyword, the final one. So I need all of these things. So let's break it down a little bit so you can see them. And of course, you could do it like this a little bit, maybe, to make it a little bit nicer. And the column name. And the keyword, and then of course the keyword. Now all of these things, the keyword that I will be using in the PHP, this, and then comes the success. So I'm just going to put a body of success here, just to the way we did before. And I said function, and I would say response. When I call it response, not a problem. There are two different responses. They are living their own lifetime, so it's not a problem. Response, that console. Let's use the console. Console.log response here. And now you can do a lot of other things, like you can go ahead and add one called beforehand, false. So probably I will add them by copying from my code, because this is a repetitive code. I can copy it from the top. A little bit of cache falsy, a success function. Before thing, a little bit of push it here. So that will load, and probably I will have two more functions that I would be using, maybe one error in case there was issues. I want to, if the file is not found, maybe for this one, because this will happen frequently compared to other two operations. Because customer can change mine and they can type anything, they can remove it, they can play with it. With the Dropbox, they don't have much choice. So in this case, I would definitely go with an error function. If technical error happen at any moment, because it will trigger a lot of key up event. And if some point network broken or something, file was not found, this passes a variable. If error message comes, we can call it error, not a problem. And I want to print that in a file data. So let's grab this file data guy. If the error happen, everything stops, it will be HTML. And I want to say some information. When an error comes, the good news is that when an error comes, the good news is it gives you some information within this object. It's a built-in. I don't have to do anything. You can call it error, ERR, however, like just like response, as you can call it data or something. This function receives, for example, file not found. If I make a mistake, okay, it will say. So that need to be captured. And when you capture that, that object comes with some information. One is called status. One is called a status text. Status means 404 if the file was not found. And the word, the sentence, file not found will be the text. And I'm going to print them here, of course, with the red color. So I'm going to add classes. This class, error color, error, sorry. Just go ahead and do this error. My obsession with double quote, God knows. So that's one thing I want to do this when the error is. Of course, this is not necessary to complete, but just to make sure that, you know, it's not necessary complete. Complete function just to say all operation is done made. Complete can print whatever you like. It doesn't return anything. You know, you could just write things like file data append all operation blah blah blah. Let me get these things here. I probably will hide the loader. One of the reasons that I want to hide the loader, this loader will keep waiting, because when you key on press and up, they are so frequent event that Ajax call almost couldn't finish as you type. You just keep calling it. So loader may continue even though you're not typing. You pause typing, it will still load. So key up is like gonna call triggers a bunch of tsunamis. So if you don't want this, loader function loading, then you should stop it. But anyway, I will do that in hiding it here. If I want to hide the loader, I can do it here. This you will see only when it is. Let's put it there for now. If I don't want it, let's leave it for now. We will see. So we are kind of complete on this side. Some concept for prior data, but I need to now do this in my process file. I need another block of code like this, a check, which will do now different things. So that's what I need to do. I need to just go to process and make sure that I have another bunch of function which I'm going to use, which will do a certain things for it. And I have written some little bit of it, so I'm just going to put a decoration around. Search data. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. Of course, I need some check. So the first check I would be doing, if is set, I know what I need post table name first of all, name. If it was set, and copy this guy a little bit, and a bit cumbersome, but stay with me. This is going to be not empty. That function will do this bit. Finish this, and I will have two more of this. I'm going to keep continuing this development. Because it goes too much, I write like this. And I'm zooming it quite high. So did I do properly? Yeah, probably I did. So let's grab this one more, changes things to put it there. This will be, let me check what it is. Action, I will come later. Table name, column name, keyword. Let's change it, table name, column name. We're gonna keep doing this for the other one as well. And the keyword, and the keyword. One more thing left is to check. Hope I haven't broken it yet. It's trying to align this a little bit. Makes sense. And I have this guy. One more option left to check what action that we are following. So I hope I have not broken it. This. And the last action will be if the post action equals to get rows. The previous was only the two item coming, data table and action. So when this is true, all of these things happen. When these conditions are true, if this is set, not empty, if this is set, not empty, if this is set, not empty. Actually, this is how you do Ajax in terms of, because Ajax doesn't run a function from Ajax. You need framework to do that. Different technique, but we don't need it actually. Just a few checks. So from there, you're not going to call a function directly here. You're going to pass the data, do some checks. Anything you echo based on the condition, it will be echoing. So it may echo, the same process file can echo different things based on the condition it is within running. So let's do this. And now I need a function. Just do an echo to double check that things are working. But before I do that, I want to create some variable. If this is true, I'm going to create this two variable, local variable. I also want to do a keyword and an array for the table. So I'm just going to similar things I've done. With the keyword, however, I have to be a bit clever. We found out that keyword with the like operator contain a percentage sign, which allows you to search anything that starts with the character that you type followed by any other character. So when I write a keyword, for example, if somebody type A, it will look for all the books that has a name called A, followed by this guy, any other character. So I'm just concatenating that here because on the prepared statement, it doesn't allow you to do this in a syntactic. So you do that syntactic outside. If I need two of them, put one more concatenation at the beginning. You could do all sort of things here. So then concatenate it as with the dot. These are all done. Now, of course, I'm just going to quickly do an echo. I also have the array ready. The data come and we'll put it into array, a table array, we call it. So searched one. So here I'm going to do a little bit echo to see when I type if this comes. You are just put the keyword. It will print the keyword. Whatever you type in, you should be able to see in a console. Just for fun. We've done that. Now let's go. Just double check data model scripts here. It should print whatever I'm typing. Hopefully I'm doing the right. Let's have a look. I'm going to open these guys to show you. Console. Okay. Book list. Non-white characters. Oh my God. So pen. I have a non-white character on line 109. I have to check what is this. It was unable to convert it to JSON. 109. Let me see why that is happening. So it could be this guy. 109. No, it could be 109. Where is 109? Where is happening? Where the script? No, this is not. Which one is it? JQuery script 32, 33. This guy. Now, this is very significant, important information. You need to know this thing. This guy trying to parse it, something, and it is stuck for some reason. I don't know why. We'll have to check. That is online 32. Let's have a look. It wasn't like this before. I will check it. I'll try one more time. It was unable to some sort of do it. So let's do this book table. Produce that. I need to solve this problem before I can go ahead. So let's go 32. There was my. Sometime it's coming with something crazy. I need to check that out. Why it is basically what happening. If there is a space, it was unable to actually process it. There is something. Let me see if I can trim it. Otherwise, I haven't put any protection around it for the keyword, so I should do that. But anyway, let me see if without this, if I can solve this problem. No, I need to do a non-white character coming. Non-white character was coming and it was failing to do this. So this guy is having problem. Trim function did not work. So that is a problem. That is a massive problem. Hope I can solve that. I need a little bit of, just gonna do this little bit, just extra, just like I did for other guys. This is Ajax finish. This is end of Ajax. I'm just gonna close this guy. Just want to make sure that I'm not running into crazy stuff. Let's see where I did that. Let me just double check. Yeah, I closed it. Let's leave it. So that one thing converted. JSON parse is failing, not being able to parse, something coming through it, leaking through it. Let's see. It's not this. There's nothing must be leaking. So let's see. It is the parse having some issues. Oh my god. But non-white character JSON at 109. It's finding non-white characters. Let me see why it is. It shouldn't have a non-white characters. When did it start happening? It's happening after adding this. So let me see if that is the case. It was causing this. Just stop it. See if anything coming with it. Let me go back a little bit. Here, let me see if it is giving me the same thing. It says there is a non-space character coming. Let me see. It didn't give me anything. Let's not trim this guy. This guy failed to produce something. Let me introduce this guy. Let me see. That's okay. That's okay. That was okay. So that's okay. Okay. So what was causing the problem? This seems okay, but there is something causing this problem. Is it? Let me try again. Let me try a few more times, because I have given all these things I could do except the trim. Let's try another table. Yeah, that's giving me. Book list, that's giving me. Column are being produced. Change this again to user. Change this should be user details. That seems okay. So now activate this. If this is causing anything that leaked. Let's check. Of course it is leaked. Where is my else? Where is my end of if? Did you notice that? I don't have that. I don't have the brackets. So you see, this is the danger of Ajax. You have to make sure they don't leak. So it was actually echoing the entire page to me. I didn't have that. This was causing the problem. However, we have done some small things as well here, which will protect us. Before parse, it's always a good idea to trim it. So I'm going to go ahead with trim in case, because sometimes what is best could be very annoying using trim function. Just in case, I'm going to use trim function to remove any leading and tailing kind of things. I'll do that. Okay, let's see, hopefully. So this should do something. Let me see where we are. Select, make it a little bigger so you can see it. Select table, book list, column has been produced, book name has been produced. If I type, column name is not defined. On line 78, good news. Column name, NAME. I missed something. That is on the data. Column name, I missed this bit, so that's a problem. Let me see again. Book list, book name, type A, B, C. Can you see the keyword is going back and coming back from the PHP? I'm typing. This is I'm typing. So every type is causing an Ajax and adding this to it and printing it. So the first time when I call it, I only send one call, only send A. When I start typing B, it sends AB. When I type ABN, it sends ABN. It's sending the entire things at a time. It's not adding. It's just sending all of these things that I'm typing. So that's good news. We are having the value coming back to it. We have done the test. It was giving us this. But of course, instead of keyword, I want to call a function that will do the job for us. So it's time to write another function, which search the model. So let's go ahead. I think we have done this function before, so I'm just going to give it copy paste it, because I have this function already that done last week. So I'm just going to use this function. I'm going to type whole things, and you will understand this is really standard search. This search function will be used to search, and I'll pass table name, column name, keyword to it, and of course it's going to run this. Select column name. I'm not selecting everything. You can select everything. Display the table. That'd be great. From table name, where column name like whatsoever. Of course, other things are very standard. Put into in record, return it back. So now I can use this function to search my database. So go ahead and use it in the process. But here you go. Here we do the same policy that we did from our previous stage. So in the previous, if you look at this guy, I'm literally going to copy paste it. I'm just going to copy paste it. Just change the function name from the previous section. What we did per column, that's why I said half of the code can be reduced in the future by just cleverly design the function a bit better. So this one, rather than column name, it will be this guy. Then of course, check this. Get rid of this guy. I have copied accidentally different thing. Maybe I'll have to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go to the next one. I think I copied wrong. Copy again. Carefully copy this. This is get column. This guy I probably named. So let me see where this finishes. Yeah. Copy this. Carefully paste it here. Yep. Move a little bit. Instead of column name, I'm gonna call search DB. This function. This function. Storing a result, push into table array instead of column array. Whereas job is done. Now this should give me all the data lovely in the JSON encoding a table array. Let's see if this is what it's doing. So let's go ahead and we're going to print that into our console. Without obviously, we need to do a little bit extra things for it, making sure that I have parse it. So let's go ahead and parse it using the previous parse method that we use, the trim in case. We haven't done anything for the no data, so I'll have to do this in a second in the scripts itself. A little bit saying that if there is no data, please make sure that you say there is no data. So the first thing I want to do, I want to trigger what happened if there is no data. So obviously I'm going to copy this anyway. Leave it there for now. But I want to check something. I want to say if, for example, I want to cover this first. If response was true, there is a data. I want to do all of these things. First thing I want to do is write another if saying that if response contains dot trim. I'm going to do a little trim contains equals to no data, no record. That was my token if there was no record. No record. I want to quickly say the file data no match found with the added bit of class. So that's one thing I want to get rid of first, a little bit, and then else I will try to process it. I'll try to process this. Probably do not need this. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Process it here, and of course I'm going to print it. This response. Let's just print it, this response. So let's see if I haven't done horrible mistakes. I should be able to see something. Table data, book list. Select a column name. Type A. Can you see I have two data coming?
Mm-hmm.
And if I do not have a character here, if I have only L, I know I don't have anything with L. Can you see the no record coming?
Mm-hmm.
Now with that, I can then design this guy. As you can see, no record coming. Obviously, I'm not printing in here, but I'm going to print it here too. So let's do this. But because if there is the data, how it's coming, I want to see it. I want to make sure that I'm not doing wrong with that. So let's double check with it one more time. Select the table, book list, select a column, name, type A. I'm getting this on line 88. What is it? It's a text. Line 88. Let me see. Line 88. So I'm getting a text. I'm parsing it. And I'm doing this. I'm not getting this. This is interesting. I should have seen some data after parse. Let's see why it's failing. So this is of course a print I'm doing. Just get rid of these prints. Any other response? I'm gonna close this, guys. Come back here, come back here. I have one response here, one response here. Now I'm interested in a second response. See what is happening. If response was there is a valid head. I see. I've done a mistake. It should be here. That was the problem. This is for this. This is for this. If this is the case, do this, else please print it. So now I can turn this on. Let's go ahead and do this. The nesting was wrong. Book list. Oh, it didn't even load. So 1 second. It's my external file, these icons. Book list. Book name. A. Can you see it's now converted nicely into an array? So we are good. We're good. But if I don't have the data, what do I get? No record. So we achieved what we want. All I need now a for each loop to loop it through and print this in all into the file data, things that is coming, variable, or append it to the file data. So it's on the file data rather than console and console and console. So let's do this last bit and we are pretty much done. So let's go ahead and add that. Because it's an array now, use each. Each is like Ajax. It's a function. Takes an array, split them into index and value with a callback. It takes a callback with true value index and value. Know what to do. That's a function. Oh, sorry. That's a function. Then I am going to now, of course, I'm going to now use the file data and append this to as a paragraph. So I'm just going to grab that. I already have that. Making sure that I remove the error, edit by previous. You grab the file data, append as a normal paragraph. Not doing much. Lazy, I'm lazy. But of course, you can print as a table. You can collect as a table. And let's see if this is all good. I should be able to see something. Let's close this guy now. It's time for us to see some result of all this hard work. I wait for this guy to load. This loads live. So book list. Please select a column name. Book name. Please type a keyword A. Can you see?
Yes.
But it gives an index.
Still, yeah, it's still loading.
Yeah, I will stop that. It's meant to keep loading. So I will stop it. I'll show you. It's actually trying to, it's following the loop and it's printing that we don't know. It didn't call. But if you look at it carefully, it's actually called, this is actually finished. Can you see, guys? So which one is true? Is it still loading or is it done?
It's done.
It's done. This is guaranteed, guys. This is done. But why is it hanging there then? It is not a job of, because you see, think about it. If this is not complete, you'll never see it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only complete function we wrote in a second Ajax. We didn't write in a first Ajax. Instead, the complete function. And this is for sure, it's been done. But what happens is, when you add a before load, or what is called before load or something, this function, I'll show you which function. This guy, before send. Because during the process, this function actually created this div in your HTML. It's actually created it. And it's placed a loader GIF, which is this guy. Watch. This guy. Loader small, I think loader small, this guy. And it's going to go on. What happens is, operation actually stopped. But it is there visibly. All you need to do is just hide it. Because I have given a class or ID for it. Just hide it. Basically, what is happening, operation has completed. I can guarantee you, you can guarantee, you don't have to, because you see this function will only fire when operation has been finished. And we did all the checks we can. Now I hide it for you to show you this. If you see this error, don't get fooled. Because as Julius just said, yes, we can guarantee you all operation has finished. This will never print if Ajax has stopped running. Your network knows the data has been requested and had been delivered. This function guarantee that. So I'm pretty much sure that it's done. But what happened during the process, as this one is added dynamically, I can improve it. I can improve it easily by adding this into p-edit into index. And then obviously just show and hide the class. But the same thing, you could do it very easily here. Just hide it. Because that's why this function is making sure that it's been done. But this is annoying. This is because it's already placed here, and because it's a GIF file, it's gonna go on forever.
So you have to manually hide it, right?
You have to manually hide it because you placed it in there. There is something should be removed. You're before send not going to remove it for yourself. It's going. The only job you see instruction it was given, just place create this div, is it not? You're just creating it. Look. HTML creating it. If the div was for, you need to manually remove it, especially things like this where it's stuck, it's placed through the JavaScript. So, but don't feel like it's not been done. It is actually done. You can confirm that with this. So just put it, hide it. It's fine. It's not a problem. Now let's do this. Or use it in HTML or something to avoid this. Oh my God, I had this guy loading a little bit slow. Let me just book list, book name for now, A. And as you can see, this has been done and you have. And if I remove it, do you remember if no keyword, there is nothing. Bring it back to old standard. We have done that. And of course, if I put something L, which I don't have a book called L, no match found in the database. I remove it, I go back this. I write it, I get it.
Subrata, how we can hide 0, 1?
Oh, a very good question.
I don't think so. We need it.
You don't need it. That's true. But if you want, I can make it 1, 2, 3, 4 if you want.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sounds good.
It's a very good question. Well, I'm just printing this stupid index. I don't have to print it. It'll go. Because remember, this is an array. Each array item has an index. This function helps you to print this. If you just hide it, job is done. Look, just hide it. You don't need to print it. Now see, it's gone. So I print it. Book name. See, it's gone. That was the index of item. 2 item found. So there are 2 items in the array. And you know the item in numeric array start from 0. So that's right. But if you really want to keep it for some reason, but you don't want to call it 0, there is a small technique you can apply. Let's say I want to show how many. So it gives me a little bit of information how many total record, right? I don't have to manually count 1, 2, 3. Only 2 I can see counted. But when it's 10, I can see the last value. All you have to do, exactly, just do this. ++. Start. It will be 0 first, but at this moment it will be 1. So 0 become 1, 1 become 2, 2 become 3. Watch. It's just a little tactics. It will be still 0 in index, but in the visual we're just adding 1 with each of them. So let's say, can you see? I'm just upgrading it. to do. If you have 10, at least you can see how many number of record you have. This. So let's check our state chart on key up, no change on key up. If record, if not match found. If no type or backspace, go back to the normal, which is we are having it. This completes our operation as a whole. Okay, and I obviously could have printed the table here as you type, or let's discuss a little bit, Juliet. Wouldn't be nicer like this, that when I select the table, it prints all the records in a table here, right? It prints all the record as a table, a small HTML table, book list. Rather than saying this, is pre-populate the book list tables data here with the column and all the rows. Then when I select book name, type something, it shows matching record, but all the record, all the column for the matching record if I type A rather than this. Wouldn't it be nicer? It will be nicer. But of course, we're not going to do right now. I mean, something that I want to do like this, for example, let me show you what we want. So I'm going to show you a little bit. This one is done. Let me give you the code first. So you can check and tell me if anything I missed. What should I give you? I give you data model and process and index. Now, I didn't do anything with data model. I will upload this right now. Process file.
And script.
And data model. Maybe I've done one function in data model, so you can use it. And the scripts. Nothing has been changed in my index. I will upload this right away for you, so you can. But double check and let me know if it is all working for you before I upload it. So let me just go here. We have completed. If it is okay, if it passes all tested, then only I will upload it. If it fails any test, let me know. What about try another table actually? Let's try on ISBN number. I know it says a BK. No, ISBN number. Book number, sorry. Book ID. BK, 001 2 does. What about, and you can see your loading actually not going anywhere. Is there? I'm just hiding it. It will responding. I don't know if you can see. BK. You see, every time I'm typing something, you can see little loading coming. So even though I'm hiding, but before send we'll call it anyway. So I need to hide it, man. Well, otherwise it's going to stack all over our life here. So if I try another table, this guy should have some first name Sam. Yep. I have something called Lucy. I have something called Tom. But do I have John? Yeah, I have John. Do I have Salma? No, I don't have Salma. So let's see if I can use the last name to search it. I know I have a Smith family. There are 4 Smith family, 4 people. Of course, I could have printed the first name, last name. Okay. So check it. Let me know if it is working. All function. I'm going to upload it right away.
It works for me.
It works for me. Just quickly. I have a little homework that probably would be interested.
Yes.
That would be nice. I'm just going to show you something that perhaps you can give yourself a go. If you combine, I'm sure you can have fun with it. So basically, Ajax, we are on Ajax. Hold a second. See how many of them I've done. I forgot which one I will be working on. Level 3 over Ajax. No, not this one. Yeah, something like this. I would like to say. Just give me some, kind of advice or consultation. That's I will have something like this. Yeah, Simple. I remove the column name. Let's say I select book. You can keep the column name. I already have the column name. But what I mean, as soon as you select the book list, right, it's going to give you all the table details of that book. If I change it to users, it's give me all operation done using user table. Do you think I can do that?
Right.
Try it at home. Try this. So basically, it will be no. You don't worry about these guys. This guy notoriously bad. I will handle that. But just a very, or at least do this table. At least with this, do me a favor. Rather than printing one thing, can you print at least few more other information, like first name, last name, in some sort of nicer way? Like a div or table. Yes. So just add it to this. Don't worry about that one. That one I will do anyway. It's some sort of nicer structure. It's a little bit extra column name, because if I say Smith, it doesn't give me much information, even though I'm searching on my first name. But still, I can print some more data. So you can, wrap it around with a nice deep display, improve the display for me. The table will be even better with a column name, because we have the column name. We can create the columns easily with the TD. See if you can develop it. All code is there. We have list of column names available, which can be used to do a TH, table header. We have table data coming from the search. We can use it. They are global variable. And we can just use it to print nicer table. Okay. Give it a go when you're free. Okay. Let me just upload this. Is that fair? Just when you have time. I hope you can record it. I'm not going to continue after this. I'm going to finish. It's quite a lot of code. If you want to review anything, I'm going to review it. Let me just quickly first upload this so it will be available for all of you guys. Okay. Oh. Wait. Try again. Oh my goodness, what's wrong with you? So I'm just going to quickly upload. This is called 3.2 Ajax multi-table. This is version 2. Just close it. Hey, oops. Somewhere is open. I changed the name to something different. Change this. Why? Because the file is open another. Which one? JS folder. Try it again. Why? Is it still going? That's quite interesting. My JS is written up to 10, not 2. What the heck I did? Just destroyed it. Sure, I've done it properly. Yeah, I just managed to break it. Let me see. This is version V2. Unstable. Yep, that's fine. So just gonna quickly upload these guys for you. Search, send, press. Oh, I have too many of them. Just get rid of them all. Yeah, I'm just uploading. Just give me 2 seconds. It will be there in a minute. 3.3, 3.2. So little homework will be, see if you can improve the display somewhere. Surprise me, okay? It would be nice.
Okay.
So maybe a D, maybe it's a little bit of animation, something, I don't know. Maybe a table will be great even, because that will actually help. So this is uploaded here on this, guys, here. Here. This is uploaded here. Let me just show it. So this is the solution. The solution we did together. Okay, go ahead and if you need to copy it, just download it and anything. And please try to. You don't have to use this. If you'll be there, great. But at least try to make a nice some sort of table output with other things in it. So when you type, it gives you kind of things like that. Book list A. Ooh. A. I have 2 books in A. Do I have anything? I don't have anything. If I have, let's try this, guys. Users, maybe Sam. So yeah, something like this. You don't have to do anything. It's like a fade in, fade out, basically. This function is silly. Instead of saying, show and hide, I'm just doing a little bit of animation here. Fade in, fade out with the slow events. It gives a movement, subtle change rather than subtle. This is fade in. You can add those things to give a little bit of change in the view. So at least you could when you type, you select this. Of course, you type something, and whatever it is giving you, it's giving a table from a few more column. All you have to do is start from the table data model. See, rather than selecting one column name, if you can select multiple column name and pack in an array, similar array, bring it over to here, run a for each loop, print it. But when you print it, make sure that the table header is not repeating. The column name are not repeating, but the row repeating. Does it make sense a little bit? Give it a go later on. So see you next week then. Yeah. Anyone recorded it? Paula recorded it. So, thank you, Paula. Yeah, those who need it, Paula probably would be sharing it if she has time. Of course, it's quite gonna be big anyway. One more thing before your week. Next week is our last week for this session, this term, and then we go for holiday for 15 days. We're going to back hopefully in September the 1st week. Okay, so the last week, next week, I would prefer to continue the normalities. Have your fun with your life time. When you finish this, maybe you can take a homework home that try to create your tables for your project, even they are wrong. Does it make sense? Like use a table and then create an admin panel, try to implement things that we are doing here. So hopefully by next week, you'll try some table. I will complete this and give it to you so you can use it to search multiple table with multiple keyword and all this thing. Then you can create your own tables, apply this without changing much of the data, right? So you can have your one part of your admin table saying user management. If you click there, it goes to user table. You see what I'm doing in this drop down. In this drop down, this could be buttons. Am I not correct? Look, this could be buttons. 2 tables, 2 buttons. User management, this management, that management. You click, that's why it takes you only these things. And even if you can remove this, because if you add search by all field, you don't even need them. When the admin comes, it says book list management, user management. You click book list management. This, it shows all the tables. This shows on the right. You can search all the field. That'd be great. This is what we are heading towards. Okay. And we will be doing so. Yeah. So during the holidays, try to create your database and add one basic admin login and then edit. Obviously, next week I will also try to complete, if I can, the PC Globe order processing system. If it becomes so, it's very important. We'll do order processing system. See you next week. Thank you, Julia, Julius. Thank you, Diana, Paula.
Thank you,
Sadaf,
Thank you.
for listening. Dina.
Bye.